Oh, blistering barnacle! It's that bison over there.
Just as you enter the gates, the Rocky Mountain House National Historic Site, it's pretty hard to miss. It's right on the passenger side or on your right side as you drive in the road, and you'll see a small herd of bison. They have a program here in parts Canada that they've been doing for several years now. At Elk Island National Park, there's buffalo that are at that park as well. And now they've tried in the last couple of years, I think it was in 2018, where they tried to reintroduce bison in the mountains. So there's an area north of Banff where they've brought some bison from there. It's been going on for 4 years now, and they've had some success so far. Also to note, there's a lot of warning signs along this fence to not jump the fence to go inside. They're gentle giants. They tend to not be aggressive, but they can be. In the grand scheme of things, this fence isn't really holding the buffalo in. They're staying there because they want to stay there. So now let's head on down the road and go check out the visitor center and all the other places that there is to check out here at the Rocky Mountain House National Historic Site. Peace out. Came across this little burial site, and this is basically the final resting place for about 26 Aboriginal and European descendants associated with the fur trade at Rocky Mountain House between 1800 and 1875. Came out here to develop for oil and gas, and as they were digging, they found the remnants of this burial site here. So they relocated some of them. So this site that's in behind me here is the dozen people left that were found in 1979. All the remains were left here, and they left a plaque here in behind to show everybody what this site was all about. The Hudson's Bay and Northwest Companies each built fortified fur trade posts here in 1799. The Northwest Company post was also used as a base for exploration, and from it, in 1807, the famous David Thompson crossed the Rockies to the Columbia River from this site here. So sadly, these are the only bits of structure left behind from the Hudson's Bay Company in this area. there was a fort right here, and these were actually chimneys where there's actually openings on both sides. So these are kind of like a 2-for-1 chimney. There's one on this side, one on the back side. It's pretty interesting to be walking around a location that has such historical relevance. And let's go check out down there. They have a little blacksmithing station where they show the people that come here how they used to do blacksmithing back in the good old days. Let's go check it out.
So you can see that there's these darker blue beads here.
That's a good guess. So on the largest hunt I've heard of, they had several thousand Métis.
To tell the story of David Thompson is to tell the story of Canada.
They have these demonstration teepees kind of all over the place. You can tell this exhibit is currently closed. They have tables set up in front of authentic teepees, and when I asked Parks Canada employees, they told me that these are actually the tribes gave to them to set up here, but these don't stay here all winter long. And they even have all sorts of exhibits of these actual Red River carts, but you can tell this legit woodwork. So it's very interesting things to look at. Let's go check inside this teepee here. Quite roomy. This one here, they actually have this. It's not super tight. It's just an anchor down the middle rope here. You see the reflections in the shadows from outside. Very neat, very neat. So this is the first site where they built the fort here back in 1799. And this is where they started to do a lot of trading for this area. It helped them for two ways: that it would link up another trade route that they had further in the south with a different tribe, and it also got really close to the Rocky Mountains, because right on the other side of that tree line over there is the North Saskatchewan River. This area here is the first fort that was built in this area. It's from the NWC, so the Northwest Company. I was told that the Northwest Company built it here, and then the Hudson's Bay came over and built one right beside there, hoping that they would get people from the river to come to theirs instead of the Northwest Company's one instead. So they were kind of competing against each other. So I guess over time, the Hudson's Bay Company just eventually merged with the Northwest Company and they were one. As you walk along the path, you'll see all of these little relics and holes that were dug in to try to do some archaeological finds in there, which is quite neat. It's just one of many things that are cool and exciting and interesting here in David Thompson Country. So David Thompson, the famous map maker and explorer, used Rocky Mountain House as a site and a home base for a long period of time. And he was able to keep exploring all the way west and found trade routes for the furs all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Pretty impressive. This little platform over here was built as a lookout, but when they built this, I guess they didn't realize that most of the buffalo like to stay on the north side of the field, all the far other end. So I was told by some of the employees that there is some water behind here, and they tend to come and like to hang out here if it's super warm, but for the most part, you won't see much buffalo coming here to the lookout. But this lookout does give you a good view of the campground, because it's on this side over here. There's like little tents that you can rent over there. And then there's the prospector tents that are kind of inside that wooded area and behind me over there. And then at the far back, you see a replica frame of one of the forts that the Hudson Bay Company first initially built. And that was the one that they built in response to the Northwest Company's fort that was further down. So they thought, let's build a fort that's closer to where the canoes and stuff get off the river, so maybe we can get the people they want to trade with us first before they go to the other fort. So I guess that might have been one of the first times in North America where location would have been the ultimate thing to do here. So we're in the far south end of the Rocky Mountain House National Historic Site, and we're right along the side of the North Saskatchewan River. This river here starts initially right in the middle of the Columbia ice fields. And I stopped here because this area here, there's a nice little boat launch. It's not like a typical boat launch. It's not meant for motorized boats, but if you were to hand bomb a canoe or a kayak or anything of the sort, it'd be super easy. Just at the far end, you can see behind me there, there's a little island and there's these little rapids. These rapids were used as a marker for these people in canoes to stop, because this is where the forts were, so they can come and do your trading. So these rapids were named after the Brierley family, and the Brierley family had a farm on the site, and then when they passed away, they gave some of the land away that became the National Historic Site. So when you get to the campground, obviously you have to check in, and you can just go around the building to go that way for the campgrounds. But if you keep going straight, past that little gate down there, if you have access to the cabins or the teepees or the prospector tents, they'll give you a code to get past that little gate, and you can go in and out through there. They also have a little area down here that's the equivalent of backcountry camping, except for the only backcountry part is being able to just move your stuff from the parking lot over there to here. There's actually a large shelter in here, which is very nicely set up. You have some bear lockers at the back here, and you got a nice roofed shelter here. And quite nice, they all seem to have fire pits and a picnic table. I'm a big fan of the fire pits here. Makes you wonder if they weren't made at the blacksmithing area here. This is where we're sleeping for tonight. This is one of the prospector tents. There's like a little chest in my backpack here. There's, I don't know if this is authentic. It feels authentic to me. This is like a bison rug. And you do quite a bit of floor space, and they have these mats. And there's some underneath that side. So you can sleep up to 5 people because there's like little cots. There's a little tiny table. And if you go outside, there's like a nice deck. And each and every one of these sites has a picnic table. If you're not interested in sleeping in a cabin or prospector tent or a teepee, and you have your own equipment, you can come on the campground side, and they're not serviced, so there's no sewage and there's no water and there's no power, But at the far end over there, you do have a nice set of showers and good bathrooms. And then you also have a sink, a nice stainless steel countertop that you can do your dishes and all that stuff. It's good facilities nonetheless, even if you don't have power or water at the campsites. So it's about 15 paces that I've done the average campsite here. And the attendant also told me that they may use the grassy area at the back here kind of as an overflow if there's more people that want to camp. They have a station here for the campgrounds on that side if you want to wash your dishes or wash your hands. Couple showers on the back side here. And then on the other side, one bathroom here with a toilet and a shower for people that have a disability or for a maternity room. And then they'll actually have 3 washrooms on that side. So it's nice washrooms that you can use and not necessarily having to use an outhouse. This is the Rocky Mountain House National Historic Site, right in the heart of David Thompson Country. I'm Eric Tremblay, and these are my adventures. Peace out.